Motivator Show. The internet's most podcast. Every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. The Afrikan International Virtual Townhall Meetings. Sunday International Solidarity. In collaboration with the Global African Congress, the RMT Black Members, and African Alliance Brazil. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. Issues that we discuss include COVID-19, prostate cancer, maternal health, to marry for life, wealth creation, politics, careers, opportunities, religious devotion, child rearing, amongst many others. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. You share the latest news. What is happening in your country? Join us. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarities. Countries reporting what is actually happening within their borders. News not filtered by big media companies. Countries include Nigeria, Jamaica, Grenada, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, Brazil, Barbados, South Africa, Grenada, Liberia, Britain, Ghana, Zanzibar, Barbados, amongst many others. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. We start from 4 p.m. London time. To request Zoom access codes, send email to secretaryGACUK@aol.com or phone mobile 07411 113098. You are welcome. The Motivator Show. Success is ours for the taking. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. You can listen to us on galaxyafui.net and also Mixcloud too. The Motivator Show. The internet's most inspirational podcast. Every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. The Afrikan International Virtual Townhall Meetings. Sunday International Solidarity. In collaboration with the Global African Congress, the RMT Black Members, and African Alliance Brazil. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. Issues that we discuss include COVID-19, prostate cancer, maternal health, to marry for life, wealth creation, politics, careers, opportunities, religious devotion, child rearing, amongst many others. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. You share the latest news. What is happening in your country? Join us. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarities. Countries reporting what is actually happening within their borders. News not filtered by big media companies. Countries include Nigeria, Jamaica, Grenada, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, Brazil, Barbados, South Africa, Grenada, Liberia, Britain, Ghana, Zanzibar, Barbados, amongst many others. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. We start from 4 p.m. London time. To request Zoom access codes, send email to secretary gacuk@aol.com or phone mobile 07411 113098. You are welcome. The Motivator Show. Success is ours for the taking. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. You can listen to us on galaxyafui.net and also Mixcloud too. The Motivator Show. The internet's most inspirational podcast. Every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. The Afrikan International Virtual Townhall Meetings. Sunday International Solidarity. In collaboration with the Global African Congress, the RMT Black Members, and African Alliance Brazil. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. Issues that we discuss include COVID-19, prostate cancer, maternal health, to marry for life, wealth creation, politics, careers, opportunities, religious devotion, child rearing, amongst many others. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. You share the latest news. What is happening in your country? Join us. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarities. Countries reporting what is actually happening within their borders. News not filtered by big media companies. Countries include Nigeria, Jamaica, Grenada, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, Brazil, Barbados, South Africa, Grenada, Liberia, Britain, Ghana, Zanzibar, Barbados, amongst many others. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. We start from 4 p.m. London time. To request Zoom access codes, send email to secretary gacuk@aol.com or phone mobile 07411 113098. You are welcome. The Motivator Show. Success is ours for the taking. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. You can listen to us on galaxyafui.net and also Mixcloud too. The Motivator Show. The internet's most inspirational podcast. Every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. The Afrikan International Virtual Townhall Meetings. Sunday International Solidarity. In collaboration with the Global African Congress, the RMT Black Members, and African Alliance Brazil. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. Issues that we discuss include COVID-19, prostate cancer, maternal health, to marry for life, wealth creation, politics, careers, opportunities, religious devotion, child rearing, amongst many others. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. You share the latest news. What is happening in your country? Join us. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarities. Countries reporting what is actually happening within their borders. News not filtered by big media companies. Countries include Nigeria, Jamaica, Grenada, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, Brazil, Barbados, South Africa, Grenada, Liberia, Britain, Ghana, Zanzibar, Barbados, amongst many others. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. We start from 4 p.m. London time. To request Zoom access codes, send email to secretary gacuk@aol.com or phone mobile 07411 113098. You are welcome. The Motivator Show. Success is ours for the taking. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. You can listen to us on galaxyafui.net and also Mixcloud too. All right. All right. This is the Motivator Show. This is where we translate our words into action and where success is ours for the taking. And that you've got to believe. How are you feeling, people? How are you feeling? 'Cause I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling alive. I'm feeling alive. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And long may you feel that way too. Now, let me just make sure I've got all the other details on now. There we go. Right. I hope I'm coming through loud and clear via all channels now. Let me just make sure this is happening. And we should be transmitting now. Well, this is good. A good start. There we go. Let's get this show on the road. Just want to make sure all the other connections are going through. And there we go. Live mode. There we go. There we go. That's better. I believe you can all hear now. Just making sure. Shout out. Give me a call if you cannot. Give me a thumbs up indicating. If you're in the chat, give me a thumbs up, just so I know that you can hear all is well. All is well. Just making sure. There we go. Just making sure all is well. Looking well this end. Looking well this end. One slight hiccup here. Let's adjust this button, shall we? Now then. Can you all still hear? Just making sure. Am I still being heard? Am I still being heard? Oh, it's interesting that can't get your thumbs up. Please give me your thumbs up if you can still hear. Making sure all is well. Yep. Are you all getting my messages? There we go. Just making sure. There we go. Just making sure. Why is this other system of mine not functioning? And I trust you're all well. Please give us a thumbs up on the chat or a message on the chat to make sure I know that you all can hear. Just making sure. And let's make sure all is well. And I believe that should do it. 1 moment. And yep, all indications are I should be being heard by all parties concerned. Please indicate to me that you can hear without any problem. Oh, okay. I can see the Galaxy FUI has gone silent for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. And I will resolve that momentarily. And let's see. Why silence? Okay, let's have a look here. Can you just confirm via the YouTube or Facebook chat you can hear without any problem? Let's see if I can get this right. There we go. 1 second. Let's do this right. And let's get this right here. And just making sure you all can hear fine. For some reason the Galaxy FUI.net's end has gone down, and I will resolve that momentarily. What I will do, thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up there. Thank you for the thumbs up via YouTube, Facebook, Mixcloud, Instagram. Now, not sure why the Galaxy FUI section's gone down. I will resolve that as we proceed through the show. I do apologize to those who are on Galaxy FUI. Doesn't make any sense at the moment, but I will resolve that shortly. Let me press on. There we go. So this is the Motivator Show. As I say, this is where we translate our words into action, because success is ours for the taking. And I want to compliment our guest of last week, Pastor Kaudi Alawolbi of the Everlasting Arms Ministry. what a tremendous guest he was last week, and an open-minded Christian leader. That's what we need. That's what we need as a community. That's what Africa absolutely is calling out for. Inspired, open-minded leaders, those who can think on their feet and innovate. That's what we actually need as a people. So let's move forward and let's most certainly think how we can use such people to improve the life chances of all African peoples across the continent, the Caribbean, the Americas, and of course here in Europe. Now, I've got someone on the line, just to make sure, 9976, can you hear us all right?
No, there's no sound on the air.
Okay, we'll sort that out as well.
Not since your preamble.
I've got someone on the line, that's fine.
Since your repeated message, it just went dead.
Oh, right, yes, I've got the message about the galaxy section. I will resolve that momentarily. Doesn't make any sense right now, but let's see if I do this. Does that make any difference? No, it doesn't make any difference. I'm not sure why the galaxy has gone down, but I will resolve that momentarily. What I want to do, before I go any further, I want to remind you that this show, this part of the show, we want to focus on our lifestyle messages. Lifestyle messages are crucial because what they do, they highlight what we need to do as a community and to improve our general health and well-being. And that's a crucial part of who we are. So what I want to do is give light to an example of steps we can take that will improve our general. There you are. Okay, that should be able to come now. I should be now. Now you can hear me. There you are. Sorry about that. It's a new technology. We're getting used to our new technology. Don't you worry. I will get it right soon. And let's make sure I've got all of this right. Yep, that's perfect. There you are. And I'm sorry about the Galaxy Fluid side of things for the moment. We need to work out why that is not working momentarily. But never mind. We'll get that resolved soon enough. So what I want to do now, go straight to the lifestyle messages. And lifestyle messages are crucial because they give light, of course, to those actions we take every day that directly impact upon our lifestyle and our general health and well-being. And in doing so, of course, what then happens is that you have examples of many of our peoples who are suffering needlessly because of the direct action that they take. And here we go. So I simply ask you to consider the amount of sugar that you ingest each day, as well as consider the amount of salt that you consume each day. And you'll note that the overconsumption of sugar and salt can have long-term implications for you. Sugar is directly linked to diabetes. It is directly linked to diabetes. And diabetes is a clear and present danger in our communities. You can avoid it by being very careful how much sugar that you consume. Yep, type 2 diabetes is directly related to our lifestyle, what we do, actions that we take on a daily basis. So I urge you to think carefully about the amount of sugar that you consume. I no longer purchase sugar from the grocery store. I have no need to add additional sugar to my diet. The foods I consume each day, usually in abundance, have sugar, unfortunately, and it's usually masked in ways that is not always obvious. But I also ask you to consider the amount of salt that you consume. Salt is one of those ingredients we add as a flavor enhancer. Now, those flavor enhancers, well, it may well make a contribution to changing the flavor of food, but actually, the overconsumption of salt can have a direct impact on our general health and well-being. And particularly, and I want to give light to this, to the hardening of our arteries, okay? And I'll get onto that in a moment. But what I want you to do is to think carefully about the amount of salt that you add to your food. Again, I no longer add additional salt to most of my food. It is unnecessary. It is unnecessary. But these are habits that we formed as children, usually taught to us by our parents. Adding salt, adding sugar is good, but actually it has long-term implications for us, and it's quite obvious in our community. I equally ask you to consider the amount of carbohydrates that you consume. Carbohydrates primarily derived from wheat-based products. And of course, you see the pastas on the screen. Yep. There you are. I could have put bread on the screen as well. These are usually foods that contain large amount of carbohydrates, in addition to some root vegetables, such as potatoes and yams. Yeah. And yes, I've said it, potatoes and yams. Okay. Now, the yams in particular, I know some members of our community eat large amount of yams. And if that has been a part of your diet from childhood, that's fair enough. But where it is accompanied with other rich foods, yeah, particularly here in the West, it can have damaging impacts on your general health and well-being. I simply ask you to consider the amount of carbohydrates that you consume each day. Okay, and we'll talk about quantities in a moment, but I want you to consider, have it in your mind, think about it. What is the long-term impact in the overconsumption of carbohydrates? There's another feature in our diet that I want to give light to, and that's, of course, to fat. On the screen, you can see an obvious example of fat. And there you are. You can see the fat here in the meat. The fat is obviously the white stuff, as it were. You can see it. That is fat. And of course, so many of us cook in such a way that the fat remains as part of our meals, okay? And therefore we consume it. Our bodies assume that we're consuming this much fat because we are eating for a rainy day. But in actual fact, it is unnecessary for us. We need to avoid this amount of fat like the plague. We need to avoid this amount of fat like the plague. You can see in many members of our communities the obvious impact of the overconsumption of sugar, salt, carbohydrates, and here the fat has on our bodies. And I'm going to come to the bodies in a moment. But this fat is dangerous, the raising of our cholesterol levels and potentially causing blockages in our arteries. And you see on screen examples of the blockages the fat and all the other ingredients can cause to our arteries. Restricted blood flows is a big danger, because what it does is forces the heart to have to pump with even greater vigor, thereby raising our blood pressures also. And in raising our blood pressures also, we leave ourselves open to hypertension, high blood pressure, with the potential that our veins, our arteries can burst. And we know the detrimental impact that can have on our general health and well-being. So I urge you to think carefully about the amount of fat that you consume each day. And the last ingredient I want to bring to your attention is, of course, starch. Starch is one of those ingredients which is very much found in some root vegetables and most certainly in rice. Yeah. And of course, it is often added to these pretty foods such as these fairy cakes and so on. But I have to say to you all, it's the overconsumption of rice which is the problem, not the consumption of it. And of course, the experts recommend that we should consume no more than a fistful of food per sitting. I say again, a fistful of food per sitting. The impact, of course, with the overconsumption of food is what I'll come on to in a moment, because you're going to see the direct causal link between what you eat and the impact it has on your bodies. And in many cases, it is quite profound. Okay, it is quite profound. And here you have it on screen. You see both bodies are bloated. Both bodies are bloated. You see the young man and young woman here with bloated shoulders, bloated chest, bloated abdomens, bloated thighs, and bloated buttocks or bottoms in polite company. This is devastating for your general health and well-being. And my intention is not to embarrass, not to shame. My intention is to raise a consciousness for those of you who are in this state, are thinking about how we can reduce the levels of overweightness or obesity that exist in our community. It is a clear and present danger. I cannot understate the dangers it presents for us. So I ask you to consider all what I've said today. You can see the direct link between what you eat and your general lifestyle will have on your bodies. So I simply urge you to think about what you eat and what you do.
No sound at all.
Now, of course, I've now focused on what you shouldn't do, okay? Now, I now want to focus on what you should do. The experts recommend that you should consume far more fruits and vegetables, particularly green vegetables. So you see on the screen, you see the beetroot, you see the oranges, you see the noriega, and you see the melons. Yeah? You see the cabbages and the tomatoes. You see the grapes. Yep. You see the avocados. Yep. You see the wonderful alpine seeds. Yeah, this is what we need. This is what our bodies most crave. Yeah. You see the beetroot. You see the cherries. Yeah. You see the lemon, the bananas. Yeah. You see the wonderful food that our bodies can convert to blood, to flesh, to brain, to all that is us, all that makes us human beings. This is what our bodies most crave. Untainted food as far as you can get it. You see the wonderful corn there, yeah? You see the celery, yeah? You see the cabbage and the lettuce, yeah? Yeah? You see the cucumber, yeah? You see them there. This is what our bodies most crave for. Give our bodies what it needs to keep you in a healthy state, yeah? To keep you in a healthy state. This is what we need in order to survive as human beings. With this food, you cannot go wrong. I say again, with this food, you cannot go wrong. So I urge you to think carefully about what you eat each day. This is the food that human beings would have consumed 500 years ago. But of course, many of you be well aware that we are, of course, water-based creatures. We're 70% water. So the foods I've just outlined all contain ample water. But of course, it's always good to top up. No more than between 2 to 3 litres per day, depending upon your height and your mass. That's what the experts recommend. So I urge you, if you are not drinking enough water, just to top up on a daily basis, and your bodies will reward you from time immemorial. You'll boost your immune response, you'll feel more vigorated, you'll have clear thought processes, you will feel fantastic. But all this doesn't matter if you're not exercising. Exercise is life. I'm going to say it again. Exercise is life. You see the young lady here with her weights. She's pumping her weight, pumping her muscles, pushing and pulling your muscles. Yeah, that's what our muscles want. They want to be worked. You see the mature gentleman with his headphones in, and what he's doing, he's running. He's got a smile in his face. He's feeling happy. He's feeling vigorous. This is what our bodies need. You see the young lady running up and down those stairs. Let me assure you, but I've done it, and that's real work. Okay, that is real work. I urge you, that's a wonderful exercise, running up and down those stairs, okay? You do 20 or 30 of those and you're feeling it. But if you haven't done it previously, do it steady. Be steady. And of course, you see the young man with his bulging muscles doing his press-ups? Yes, that is what you need to do if you want to maintain your general health and well-being. This is a must. This is what you need to do to maintain good health and good feelings of well-being. Yeah? This is you. This is you on the screen. This is you. You can feel you because you're taking care of you. You're given an affirmation that you want to live a long, healthy life. This is the affirmation you need. Good exercise. But this advice would not be complete if I do not mention it's also important to take care of your mental and your spiritual health. Your mental health, of course, is most critical. You will understand if you're unsure of your mental health, please seek out professional advice. And if you're not sure, speak to whoever you most respect, your best friend, yeah? The person you hold dearly, and speak to that person. And I'm confident such a person, with the empathy they will have for you, will ensure that you receive the best possible professional advice. And of course, we are Africans, of course. We are most certainly a spiritual people, as was testified to the podcast of last Saturday. And wasn't Pastor Keldy to be such an outstanding presenter? We are truly a spiritual people. You must take care of your spiritual health. And if in doubt, seek out professional advice. Seek out professional advice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wasn't that fantastic? Wasn't that fantastic? And that's what we must do to maintain our health, our vigor, our mental clarity. This is what we must do. What I'm heartened by, though, is the number of members of the community, the number of Africans I encounter every day who will take in this issue seriously, who will come together in common aim and common purpose. Africans from across the continent, across Europe, across the Americas, come together in common aim and common purpose, regardless of their religious affiliation, coming together, recognizing, pooling their resources, ensuring they have the right equipment so they can exercise together, because to exercise is to promote your life. One such
famous. Hello, 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 hello.
Oh yeah, this is the Countdown organization. Fantastic people. Africans from across the way.
You get one life on leave. Me self get one life on leave. Why we no go use I'm gladdy and enjoy the time. Palava no they finish. Time me no they wait nobody.
You see them exercise.
Why are they try for always get them nice every day and night. This one way we all fend we safe now nobody young. You want to get what you must we go down the belly now you young. And the balance where you go die left now all the money young. So why for the greedy you say for? The motor car where you let buy 'em. If you see finance where you collect bill 'em, oh. You meet up woman where you let yanam. And if you let the man na for keep 'em, want them more. The food where you feel for eat for eat 'em. That fine the power where you let na for buy 'em and tie 'em, oh. And if you baby love you back love 'em. But if you love them all now, you not for left them. Want them more. Cause nobody know Nobody know what's in tomorrow all. So every day of my life till I'm old, I fasting enjoyment stay go. Now for land for care for yourself. Nobody love you past your own self. All man they fed for himself. Oh. Now why I know they allowed with the other man they pan take me peace away, away, me joy away, away, me smile away, away. Oh no no, no make nobody take you peace away, away, me joy away, away, me smile away, away. Oh no no, alright. Every day, every day, every day. I see they also they work for the pay. They like na boku on a small you the cage. Land for the loose body 110. No to money, no to gently. No more they make motor man and bother. As long as you get waiting, you they eat. Land for the loose body 110. This one way we all fend we safe. Now nobody on. You want to eat with too much, we go down you belly. Now you young. Get the balance where you go die left. Now all the money on. So why for the greedy you say for? Now the motor car where you let buy 'em, buy 'em. If you see finance where you collect deal 'em, deal 'em. Oh, you meet up woman where you let yarn 'em, yarn 'em. And if you let the man na for keep 'em, want them more. The food where you feel for eat na for eat 'em, eat 'em. That fine la pound where you let na for buy 'em. Entire home. And if you baby love you back love 'em, love 'em. But if you love them all now you not for left 'em, want them more. Cause nobody know, nobody know what's in tomorrow all. So every day of my life till I'm old, I fasting enjoyment stay go. Now for land for care for yourself. Nobody love you past your own self. All man they fed for himself. Oh. Now why I know they allowed with the other man they pan take me peace away, away. Me joy away, away, me smile away, away. Oh no no, no make nobody take you peace away, away. Me joy away, away, me smile away, away. Oh no no, away, away,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So just making sure we can get the Galaxy side sorted. I'm not sure why the Galaxy side is not coming through yet. I will work it out shortly, but let's see if I can add additional feature here. Okay, let's try one more time here. No, that didn't work either. Ooh, I'm not sure why Galaxy is not coming through. But, it's not been doing it deliberately. That's what I tell everybody. And let's try this other setting. Let's try this one now. Has that made any difference? Oh, that's made a difference. Ah, I have solved the Galaxy problem. I do apologize to the Galaxy listeners that there was a misstep in my settings here. All right, okay. Problem solved. There we go. I'm sorry there. Problem solved. There you are. Apologies about that. Okay. Anyway, I apologize. Now, let's move forward. You've seen that it is possible for Africans, regardless of their religious affiliation, their tribal heritages, their national heritage, or indeed their political affiliations, to come together in common aim and common purpose to promote their general health and well-being, because it's just in our common interest to do so. The theme for today's show will, of course, be an example of Africans from across the world creating a virtual, international town hall meetings, which happens every Sunday. And I'm going to get to that soon, all right? So watch this space, because I've got some fantastic guests coming in, Africans with a broad diversity, coming in to discuss what is important to us, how we must progress, what we need to do to progress as a community. Okay. Thank you to Iron King for confirming that we're coming loud and clear through to galaxyfui.net. Apologies again to the listeners of galaxyfui.net. Just a slight a setting problem. Anyway, all right. Before we get to our main guest, though, there are a few announcements I want to make. Announcements you will all recall are regular features of my shows. Okay. Now, the first announcement I want to make, of course, is I want to give note, of course, to the National Association of Black Supplementary Schools. Let me put them on the screen now. There we go. The National Association of Black Supplementary Schools. This is an outstanding organization. These are adults from the community, parents or otherwise, who have skills, who have time, but I recognize a community is not a community unless we invest in our children. I'm going to say it again. A community is not a community unless we invest in our children, the future. So I commend to you, if you've got the time, contact the National Association of Black Supplementary Schools, or NABS, as they like to call themselves, on their website, which is www.nabss.org.uk, or indeed email at info@nabss.org.uk, or phone the inspired Brother Near on 07958 348 558. Brother Near will tell you where the local schools or supplementary educational facilities or cultural facilities is to be found in your area if they're registered on the website. And if you run a cultural centre for children, if you run a supplementary school or an after-school project for our children, please ensure you are registered on the National Association of Black Supplementary Schools website. They would welcome your inclusion, okay? This is an important community initiative. Now, you understand why I say that. We've got to invest in our children. All this effort that we're going through right now would be worthless unless we invest in the children, okay? Our children are our successors, if you like. They are the carriers of our legacy. Absolutely crucial that we do so. I also want to encourage you, and if you are a potential entrepreneur, you recall, here we go, put it on the screen, you recall Dr. Carlton Brown, a regular guest here on the Motivator Show. He's organised a series of business masterclass for a measly cost of £49 for the entire day, and you'll have access to the best corporate leaders, the best entrepreneurs in the country. And it's been sponsored by EY, NatWest, Tesco's, Marshalls and Brown and Co-op, amongst other sponsors. And these masterclasses are being held across the country, across Britain. On the 10th, in fact, it just passed. It was on the 10th of April in Manchester, but on the 18th of April, it will be in Birmingham. On the 19th of April, it will be in Bristol. And of course, on the 3rd of May, they will be in London. The master classes will be there. Go to Eventbrite to obtain a ticket, okay? You can see he's not making money out of this. This is for you. This is given back to the community. Go to Eventbrite for Enterprise Conference Business Masterclass 2024 and get your tickets now. I commend the masterclasses to you. There you are. I also want to give light to another important issue of concern to us all. Many of you have been affected by the Windrush scandal, yeah? The Windrush scandal. Whether you're from the Caribbean or from the motherland of continent of Africa, you are affected. If you were here in the 60s and 70s and your current immigration status had not been resolved, or indeed you are a child of someone who arrived here in the 60s and 70s. The very specific date I will get onto in a moment. But I would say this. We had a wonderful show in which we had lawyers from the Windrush Legal Advice Clinic. Okay, and we put the details on my screen. If you wish to obtain advice as to how you can resolve your status issues here in Britain, and you most certainly been here for a good few decades, you absolutely should do so. Contact the Windrush Legal Advice Clinic. And they're, of course, based in the Midlands at 58 Bank Street, West Midlands, WV148PD. Or you can email them at info@Windrush Legal Advice Clinic. I say again, info@Windrush Legal Advice Clinic, as it sounds.com. Or you can phone on 01902 382 542. Okay, I commend this advice clinic to you. Those who I know have made contact with them have found the service to be first class. And well done to the legal eagles who are involved in the Windrush Legal Advice Clinic in the West Midlands. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. I now also want to come on to another aspect of our work which is critical. Okay, there is a challenge within our community, so how we work together. And, there's another organisation that I want to give light to before I get to my guest, an organisation which you will all recognise, okay? And, I see Nigeria, I say great Nigeria. I'm going to say it again. I don't say Nigeria, I say great Nigeria. Yeah, I say great Nigeria, okay? Now, why do I say great Nigeria? I say great Nigeria because it's such a wonderful, diverse country. It has such incredible potential. It has such incredible, I'm going to say it again, it has such incredible potential. Yeah, it does indeed. Okay. Why am I enthusing about Nigeria? Look, Nigeria has potential to be an African lion state. In other words, an economic superpower. It has that potential. But we need to find harmony amongst the peoples of Nigeria. And it's incumbent upon people, us in the diaspora, to take an interest in what's happening inside Nigeria. All right. So I want to give light to an organisation who we've had on this podcast on a number of occasions, led by that wonderful, inspired African woman, Ndidi Ichiwa. I respect her. I encourage you to read her articles. She provides insights to the state of both Nigeria and indeed African peoples, whether from the Britain, Europe, the Caribbean, the Americas, or indeed the continent. She provides real, genuine, useful insights. Okay, so I want to commend to you the NINAS organisation. I want to commend to you. And if you want to know more about NINAS and what they aim to do in supporting a new configuration for Nigeria, okay, I want to commend them to you. Contact NINAS or via their website on the NINAS Voice, NINASVOICE.org, O-R-G, okay, NINAS Voice, or you can email them at info@ninasvoice.org or phone them on, this is the code for Nigeria, plus 234 912 1551. Okay, I commend NINAS to you as an organisation, progressive organisation, seeking to achieve peace so we can all enjoy prosperity. Okay, there you are. I commend them to you. Now, before bringing in my guest, I just want to play a short video. Sorry, forgive me, not a video. In fact, I want to quote a great African, an African indeed from the country of Ghana, okay? An African for whom I named my son after, Kwame Nkrumah. And the great man said this: "It is in our hands to join our strengths, taking sustenance from our diversity, honouring our rich and varied tradition and culture, but acting together for the protection and benefit of us all. So say Kwame Nkrumah. And that is the theme for today's podcast. Okay, that is the theme for today's podcast. Now, I'm using new technology, some of you may have gathered, so there's a slight technical hiccup there, but anyway, I've got over that problem. What I'm going to do is bring in my guest, and let's hope I can bring in my guest without any pain. This should be fun, shouldn't it? There we go. Let's bring in, first of all, ladies first. So we can bring that lady in first. And now the gentleman. Let's see if we can bring the gentleman in now. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to bring them both into my mainstream using this new wonderful technology of mine. There we go. Let's bring them in first. Oh, yes, it worked. And I'm going to bring in the lady to my on my other side. Oh my gosh, it worked. I wonder if they can hear, first of all. Can you both hear, first of all? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful. And thank you, Elder Marcia. And indeed, another Elder Glenroy. Can you hear? All right. Ooh, he cannot hear. Elder Glenroy. Let's see. Can you hear us all right, Elder Glenroy? Oh, he's doing something. Elder Glenroy, can you hear us? Oh, you're not very good this time. Elder Glenroy, your audio is not particularly good on this occasion. Yeah, your audio is not particularly good.
Yeah. I'm going to use my headphones.
Oh, that's better. Oh, that's improving. Yep, that's better. Yes, you can hear now. Can you? Wonderful, both of you. Now, I'm using new technology today. So there was a slight hiccup earlier on, but I think we've got over that little hiccup. And I trust you are both well.
Yes, thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Good. Can I ensure then that if you've got your device on in the background, you keep it on a low or muted, just so that we can all hear you well. I'm going to be playing around with the screen soon, so I'm going to enjoy myself with this new technology. Okay. But first of all, I want to welcome you both. And on this time, of course, and Elder Glenroy is enjoying himself with his, I'm sure, morning meal. We want to discuss what I've termed, and I hope you don't mind, I've termed it this way, the African International Townhall Meetings, or locally referred to as the Sunday International Solidarity. Is that okay with you both?
Townhall.
Yes,
That
but
sounds.
Go on, you go first, sir.
Virtual. Yeah, go ahead now.
Go ahead, Elder Marcia, go ahead. Yes.
Town hall. It sounds political. It sounds like a councillors meeting.
Oh, councillors meeting. Oh, for heaven above. But we debate.
Well,
We present and we debate. All interactions are political in one form or another. Okay?
I hear you.
Okay.
Elder Glenroy?
Elder Glenroy, yes.
yes, I think I'm all right with the idea of a town hall or a virtual town hall,
Mm-hmm.
but I always want to keep in mind that it's not an African-only activity. We get reports from all over the world.
Yeah, before we do that,
predominantly.
hold on, Glenroy. Before you do that, I'm going to get to that, don't you worry. I did want to make sure we got the labelling right, and now we're going to move forward. And I was going to ask you, of course, to just describe what happens at the Sunday International Solidarity, or the International African Town Hall meetings that you hold. Who are the partners, first of all, who are the main partners?
Okay, but again, I must start off by saying we've offered this forum as a global forum. not an African only forum. And it's
Okay.
always difficult for people to keep that in mind, but that's important. The original concept and the eternal concept, really, it's by Africans from Brazil. And at the time of the inception of, and we didn't call it SIS or Sunday International Solidarity at the time, was during the 21 Days Against Racism. I'm sorry if it's a bit loud here. You can hear rain in the background. We're having
That's
our
good.
rainy season here.
Okay. That's all right.
But the idea was that us within GAC and within the Black solidarity of the trade union movement, along with Africans from Brazil, would get together and have regular meetings so we can discuss and keep each other updated. Because if you remember at the time, this would have been during the onset of COVID. And the idea was very much that each community around the globe will become isolated. We could not depend on the usual media to tell us what's happening, especially to African people. So that aspect is very true in the sense of who it was aimed at. But we invited everyone to tell us what's happening in their community. And we have regular involvement of people from the African, Asian community and other communities in various ways. You know, we have people from Venezuela, we have people from Colombia, and so on and so forth, and the US as well. So it isn't restricted, but we find that the people more in need of this communication are our people from the continent. And so the 90% of our reporters are from the continent.
And thank you for that. And it is important then to note then that in saying that it is I have described it as being an international town hall meeting where you can come together. One of the advantages of it, I think you would agree, is that, of course, these are people on the ground reporting what is actually happening in their countries, as opposed to being filtered through the big media corporations. Is that right?
Very much so. And then what we ask people for is just tell us how people are coping. What are their coping strategy? What are they doing? Especially, as I said, during that time of COVID, what are they doing to keep in contact locally, keep in contact with people internationally? Because, you know, we're on once a week. Do you do something else during the other 6 days of the week? And so on. So, yes, it is facts from the ground that we're looking for, and we usually get.
Oh, have we lost him? Oh, we lost him. Elder Marcia?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, we lost him. Oh, that's unfortunate. He did say it was raining there, so. In fact, whilst he's,
the other link as well.
Yeah, it'll come back shortly. Whilst his internet is sorting himself out, I know that you chair many of the sessions. Okay, you tell me, what's it like to chair a session which have Africans and others from diverse backgrounds in the same room, who've not met each other often, who've never met each other, but are sharing their experience on the ground in their countries. What's it like chairing such a meeting?
First of all, the table is turned right now.
Indeed.
Right. It's an honor. It's an honor to chair such meetings because you're hearing something that you might listen to the radio and you hear something else, but you're hearing from the people themselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be challenging. We have presenters as well. We have someone who will tell us exactly what's happening. Like this Sunday, we're having someone from Kenya. So sometimes it can be challenging because of other people want to run over ask more questions. Sometimes you said, "Can I have some questions?" You have people doing comments instead. So sometimes it can be challenging, but I do love it.
Right. Okay. And in terms of the news reports, facts that they are sharing, is it your experience that the information shared often or not at variance of what the big media corporations are sharing? For example, what's happening in, say, one of the countries, I could say Nigeria, but I know that very well, but I know that we've had representatives from Tanzania, from South Africa. South Africa, let's take South Africa as an example. We've had, I recall the local reporters sharing what's happening on the ground. And it's always interesting that not only were we receiving first-hand account of what is actually happening, but often with a far greater depths of details. Is that your experience as well? The information provided a far greater depth of detail?
Certainly, because like you said, with South Africa, we're getting at least two, three people who are telling us exactly what's happened. We have people from Swaziland, which is next door, who will be stating exactly the differences that's happening there. You'll hear people praise the king in
Yes.
Swaziland, but
Yes.
we'll know exactly what is happening there. We have someone who speaks from Cameroon. He's a refugee in Nigeria at the moment, and he'll tell us exactly what is happening between the French and the English Cameroon there. So,
Yes.
yes, we get first-hand information, not just what you think, what the media think we want to hear, but we're hearing the actual news.
And you now bring home an interesting point, of course. But of course, you will have people from the same country who might be at loggerheads with each other, but debating and discussing these issues amongst other Africans who can observe for the very first time. That's what I found to be a most powerful experience, isn't it? Is that a powerful
That
experience?
is why I said it can be challenging,
This is true.
especially when you think of somewhere like South Africa. It can be
Yes.
challenging,
Yes.
because you might have someone who is with the with the Pan African ANC.
Yes.
So there'll be someone who likes them. There'll be someone who will be far against the ANC.
Oh dear. Yes. Yes.
And you have to be listening, and you can't really take sides. That's one of the main thing you can't do. You can't take sides, so you have to be neutral and listen and give them their time to talk. So yes, it is challenging.
Now, isn't that interesting? You are not a trained diplomat, are you?
Definitely not. I have to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
There you go. See, you're not a trained diplomat, but yet you're able to have people who are locally at loggerheads in the same meeting discussing the issues, but there is no cursing, yeah, there is no threatening, okay, and indeed I've got no knowledge of after a meeting such as this that there've been any violence, okay. What I have heard is people offline have come together and discussed the issues, possibly for the very first time, huh? Is that right? Yeah.
Right. So you just have to be assertive.
Yes.
Some people I've been called a bully,
Hmm.
but unfortunately I try to be assertive for letting people have their say without them, being an enemy to another person.
That's right. Yeah, I understand that, and that's really interesting. I've had, as you know, a series of podcasts on Nigeria, and maybe what we need to do is encourage the Nigerian politicians to join our Sunday international meetings, huh? The African International Townhall meeting. Maybe that's what we should do, so we can have an honest debate as to how we secure the future of that great nation. What do you think about that? Huh?
As long as it can be politicians from different parties.
That's right. There you go. There you
Can't
are.
have like just one voice. It's best to have the pros and the cons, the aims and objective of all the politicians.
And what you now point out to us, of course, is that as I've always believed, and it's self-evident, we Africans have the solutions. Left to our own devices, we will create a framework, the structures in which we can have genuine negotiation, and identify where we've got common aim and common purpose, so we create peace, so we can all enjoy the future prosperity that comes from that peace. Huh? Is that true?
That's correct. That's correct. We all have the answers, but the main thing is ego sometimes.
Ah, yes. Tell us more about this ego. Tell us more about this ego. Yeah, tell us more.
Because sometimes when someone has an ego, they don't want to listen to what you're saying. They want to think that they are correct. Like I said, I've been called a bully just because someone wants to talk over me.
Yes.
Respect. We have to have more respect than ego.
Yes.
So until we can understand each other, be there, seeing yourself as a brother to another person, a sister to another person, then by all means, we can find that solution within ourselves.
That's interesting. But of course, the reason why, and I've seen that happen to you, don't worry, the reason why that happened is primarily due to the person being unable to control the conversation.
That's correct. That's correct. So they think that, because they're, like I said, ego, if they feel that their point is correct compared to what someone is saying, they're asking a question which has been answered before. So they don't want to keep in line what's happening. That's why things do, go wrong sometimes.
Yeah, I think, indeed, I know you are correct in saying this. And it is interesting as you go through each of these sessions, you are learning much more about both the individuals and the issues in ways that otherwise would not be the case through these big media corporations. Okay. And are you able to relate to us an example of where at the end of the meeting, two discordant or warring factions were able to at least consider listening to the other side? Yes.
I'll have to go back to might be South Africa,
Right.
Africa and Swaziland.
Yes.
Because even with Namibia, these are three sections where they will have their differences, but at the end of the day, they will come.
I think we've got a caller on the line. Hold on there, the master. Good morning, caller. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I haven't got guys for days, man.
Good morning there, caller.
Can you give me any information after I get Gary services work?
Caller, we can hear you.
No, can you give me any information after get Gary?
This caller, we can hear you.
Could you give me any information after get Gary?
All right, okay. And this caller believes he's online. Good morning, caller.
Hello, you I said.
Good morning, caller.
I said morning. I haven't heard Gary for some time now. Could you give me some information after get Gary? Please.
Sorry, we didn't quite catch what you said. Say again, please.
Unfortunately, he can't get Galaxy for a couple of days now.
I haven't got Galaxy for a couple of weeks now.
Oh, yes.
Tell me how to get Galaxy.
Indeed. I believe the technical problem with Galaxy has now been resolved. Have you tried them this morning?
So the website is okay then? It's normal
yes,
website.
It should be fine now. Yes. Yes. GalaxyAfui.net.
Okay, Robert. Thank you.
Good. Not a problem. Or you can listen to us via YouTube if need be. Thank you. He's got that. There you are. I think he's satisfied. Yes, you're saying. Yeah.
So,
South Africa and Namibia.
Like South Africa, Namibia, Swaziland. Sometimes you can have that differences, where someone from South Africa is saying, "Oh, but we're helping the people of Namibia, of Swaziland. We're sending rice in." The person in Swaziland was saying, "Well, the rice, the king is only giving it to his supporter."
Okay. Yes, but I think we've got someone else on the line as well. The line's open this morning, so let's hold that thought for a moment there, Odamarcia. I just take the call over with number ending 743.
Yeah, hi, Sister Marcia, Brother Martin.
Oh, good morning. The motivator here.
You're a motivator.
The motivator.
You're motivated this morning and bringing sunshine.
Oh, there you
I
are.
hope you can hear me.
We can hear you very well.
Okay, I can hear you. Thank you for this really ingenious opportunity to bring something that's been going on for a long time into a wider audience. I think it's so needed, and such an initiative is so brilliant. So well done. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And I wanted to add to it to say that I've been in the chat, I've put some messages there, but I've experienced the hair raising part of it, but also the joy and the great opportunity to have, what you call it, town hall meeting. I think it's a beautiful word, because we don't get enough opportunities to just turn up and share. We have a lot of leadership top-down things, initiatives, but we don't have grassroots. So this is a great grassroots initiative. And I just wanted to say, it's a training for people to present, a training for people to chair, and a training for people to listen.
Yes.
And learn how to be with other people, even if they have very different points of views. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Thank you. That's it.
So can we ask Sister T, how do you feel when you chair?
Is she asking me a question? I can't hear.
Oh, right. The question to you is, how do you feel when you're chairing? Because you've chaired the international meetings.
I've chaired many meetings, yes. I feel sometimes I have to be very disciplined, because we get internally challenged, and people, test the boundaries. So for me, when chairing, I have to have clear boundaries. I did get good training from the organization at the beginning when I first started, because I had no idea of the protocol. I've been a part of many arguments, and it has been painful, but at the same time reflective opportunities and widening comfort zone. So when I chair, I feel it's an opportunity, it's a privilege. I want to hear other people, and when other people speak, I want to give them time. But what I have learned is how to chair in a much more skillful way. Because we have internet problems and people can't finish their sentences and moving along the conversations. So it's a great training. Looking back on it all, I think it's been a great privilege, and I have nothing negative to say about it at all.
Well done. And you don't mind me saying this to you, Sister Teresa, that you're just an ordinary African who's just concerned, and what you want to see is peace, so we can all achieve prosperity.
Oh, definitely. I want to hear voices. People are lonely and they're talking in their homes, but they get an opportunity to come out and speak to a global audience. And we need to hear those voices, because they have the solutions. And this is a great way to do it. So, I totally agree. I'm ordinary. I don't have any big qualifications or leadership role, but I also have got the opportunity to come out and share. And I've brought subjects, and I've chaired other people's subjects, and I've listened to lots and lots of sessions. So it is a great grassroots initiative for sure.
Thank you so much for that. That's a very useful input, and it simply demonstrates, and I've said this many times, we have the solutions. Success is ours for the taking. We have the solutions.
Totally.
There you are.
Totally agree with you. And I'll bid out now, but thank you for this. It's been really wonderful listening. I am so proud of us and what you are doing today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There you are. There you are. Look at that. Eh? Now that is there's further evidence. Africans come together in common aim and common purpose, understanding that the disputes that we often are encountering are usually artificial. Yeah, they may appear to be insurmountable, but actually they are within our grasp, within our abilities to resolve ourselves. Okay? And that's why I'm very hopeful for Nigeria. Maybe we should invite a series of podcasts just for our friends from Nigeria, just to come on and speak. Okay, just to come on and speak. Now it appears that we've lost Elder Glenroy, but gained I believe our good friend Ifa. Shall I bring him in, Elder Marcia?
Yes, certainly.
Let me
And
bring him
you're
in.
saying with Nigeria, it's not just the politicians you need to speak to. You need to speak to the Christians, the Muslims,
Yes,
the Babalawas. That
yes,
could be a challenging conversation as well.
indeed. I suspect it will be. I guess say greetings to you, Brother Ifa. How are you?
I am doing fine.
Okay.
It is 5 o'clock in the morning here in
Yeah,
in
Todd.
uh,
Can you turn up
Halifax,
your
Nova
volume
Scotia,
a little
Canada.
bit?
Oh gosh. Oh right. Could you
You're
hold
you're
there
only
for a
about
moment? I've got someone
seven.
else on the line.
You're about
Um,
70%
I've got someone on the line with
that of your guest.
telephone number 9976.
Yeah,
Good
your
morning,
guest
caller, number
your
ending
guest is
9976.
about 30% louder than you.
Good morning, caller, with 9976 as your extension number.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, you need to turn up your volume a little bit,
Oh,
about
it's not my volume.
30% more to match the level of your guest.
Okay. Okay. It is
Okay.
done. Thank you for
And
that.
Is my mouth louder?
that
Oh
fella
yes,
who
keep
couldn't get the
projecting.
big G, if you tell him to go on to Shoutcast
Okay,
or Firefox,
I
you can get it
understand.
from there.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Bless it to you. Bless it. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, the people out there listening. Yep, the people out there listening. That's good. That's good. So, Brother Ifa, I've listened to you on a number of occasions in the. Again, I'm going to use that banner, the African International Town Hall meetings, or the Sunday solidarity. Yes. Now, I've listened to you on many occasions, and you provide interesting perspectives of what's happening in your part of the world. Okay. Do you feel you've been listened to by those who attend the Sunday solidarity meeting? Do you feel you've been listened to and acknowledged?
Yes. It's it's actually more than that. I
Okay.
think
Of course.
it's not just the listening to, but
Mm-hmm.
it's also the listening to other people share.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like okay, I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Muslim, I don't go to church, but I show up at this every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what's going on, I show up.
Okay.
Even when I travel to visit my relatives, I let them know if I'm at your house on
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, my
Mm-hmm.
Bluetooth is going to be in my ear and I'm going to
Yes.
be on this thing.
Yeah.
This is my own therapy for myself. I think we need help. We need help when we're
Absolutely.
living in this white dominated anti-African world.
Mm-hmm.
So every Sunday I come in to replenish my spirit and to replenish my soul.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of if I'm even speaking, just being there around people who are concerned and actively working to make, excuse me,
Okay.
actively working to make the world a better place,
Yes.
replenishes my spirit. So that's why I like being there.
Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. And I completely agree with you. But of course, what it does, and you enter a place such as that, is that it belies the suggestions in the mass media that we're not coming together in common aim and common purpose, but we're always arguing amongst ourselves and working against our interest. And whilst that is true to some extent, maybe put our hands up, okay, there's enormous work within the community to come together in common aim and common purpose. And I completely agree with you, I completely agree with you. Can I just, before I go back to Elder Marcia, I did want to just pick up on a point you've made there, of course. Of course, is this learned behavior, that is the listening and experiencing other Africans, or is this natural to us? Does it come natural to us to want to come together, to listen, to learn, and debate but then leave with a sense of either consensus or feeling that we've understood what the other person said. Is that natural to us, or is it something that we've had to learn to do? I feel.
I believe it is natural to us.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
believe that the propaganda has been working overtime
mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm.
try to portray disunity.
Yeah.
But I believe fundamentally that we get along more than most other
Yes.
people, so to speak. I think even the most corrupt African leader will
Mm-hmm,
never say that they're against African unity. But you will find in Europe, so many leaders can go to the top of their party by
mm-hmm.
talking about how much they hate the unity of Europe.
Yes.
But for
Yes.
some reason, we've been brainwashed into not noticing that, and then they twist the story and
Oh, we've lost him as well. You are a steady rock, yeah? You are a foundation to Elder Marcia.
Right. In
Yes.
regards to the question, just look at Jamaica, PMP
Uh-huh.
and
Yes.
JLP.
Please do,
Just look at
yes.
PMP and JLP.
Mm-hmm.
People will say they're so much against each other, but they can
Mm-hmm.
be families.
Yes.
They're walking through that same door going home at night.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just how we have been told to hate each other.
Yes.
We have
Yes.
been told where Jamaica will call other people small island,
Mm-hmm.
even though somewhere like Guyana would be larger than Jamaica.
Our city, huh?
So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
what we've been taught, and it's like just like how Galaxy is a de-brainwashing station.
Absolutely. Yes.
The Sunday International,
GalaxyFOA.net. Yes. Go on.
right?
Yes.
So the Sunday International Solidarity is
Mm-hmm.
a place that people who come from the first time will leave and said, "My God, I'll be coming back."
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's the same thing that happened with Ifo when he came the first time,
Yes.
realizing the knowledge that he's leaving away with and
Mm-hmm.
seeing people from different places, Cameroon,
Mm-hmm.
Namibia,
Mm-hmm.
Swaziland,
Mm-hmm.
Barbados, Jamaica, everyone is giving account of what is happening in their country and
Yes.
debating with one another.
Yes, yes. Well said. Well said. And it is quite profound. We're just ordinary people here, but we are committed to finding peace amongst our peoples, so we can all enjoy that future prosperity. Yeah. So we're committed, and therefore we're prepared to overcome if we have a difference in our religious heritage. Yeah. We're prepared to overcome if there's a difference in our ethnic heritage. Yeah, we're prepared to overcome if there's a difference in our national heritage, or political heritages or affiliations. Yeah. Now that is maturity, isn't it?
It
That's
is,
social
and like I said,
maturity.
it's an
Yes. Go ahead.
anti-racist. It's an
Mm-hmm.
anti-racist platform.
Mm-hmm.
Right, just like how Elder Glenroy was telling you that we get people from Brazil, from
Yes.
Nicaragua, Ecuador, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So it's not just about saying it's on the continent and in the Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
because we are all over the place. We are the
Okay.
first.
Yes.
Wherever you go, we are the first. So there's somewhere, some country we will be there.
Wonderful, wonderful. You make another important point. You mentioned Nicaragua, but I want to mention Brazil. Brazil, of course, being one of the Africans in Brazil, being one of the founder groups who found the Sunday International. Can you say a little bit about them? I know they can't be here because of this time difference. Can you say a little bit about them? I know Elder Glenway would have mentioned this, but I'll give it to you. Yeah.
Right. So during the lockdown, they're one of the first people with the RMT, Black Solidarity section, that started off on a Sundays. They started off doing something called 21 Day Against Racism,
Uh-huh. Right. Okay.
and we promote it every single March. So it's from the 1st of March to the 21st of March. We have one of the journalists who used to be part of the Brazilian section who got killed.
Okay.
So we
Yes.
also, always remember her. So
Mm-hmm.
that is how, from the embedded of that Brazilian section, we
Mm-hmm.
start off the international solidarity in regards to anti-racism.
Hmm. Hmm. I do recall her. I think I met her, and I was extremely saddened, of course, that happened. I know that they then had a strong right-wing government. Yeah, and I'm not suggesting that the government was responsible, but nevertheless, I know
Nevertheless,
they had a very
yes,
strong
sir, she'll
right-wing government.
be well missed.
Yes, indeed, indeed, and I do recall. But you now highlight one of these details about Africans in Brazil. And a little known fact that I just want to share with everyone: more Africans went to Brazil than went to the United States.
Yep, that's so correct.
Let me say it again because people need to do their own research and just check it out. More Africans were sent to Brazil than were sent to the United States. Okay. Now, in Brazil, there are many African communities who retain their heritages. Yeah, you find Yoruba, Igbo people there, very much so, and there are many of the traditions that they practice today hark back, of course, to the traditions of old, but are practiced today in Africa. But yet they've been separated for generations by thousands of miles. Yeah, can you
I know.
imagine?
I
Go
know.
on, yes.
There's some that they practice Catholic, but they practice also the origin. The origin
Traditional practices.
Sandera. I'm not exactly what it's
Santander.
called, but
Yes.
yes, they do retain who they are.
Hmm.
Even though that, I'm sure, just like the Caribbean, a lot of they were beaten into them to be Christians and stuff, but they still retain who they are
Yes, they are.
far more than the people from the Caribbean.
And that's, again, another testament to our ability to endure, yeah, to withstand intense physical, psychological, intellectual oppression, pressure, And I say the intellectual side, and it's important to note here that I have to say this, that 96% of all of Africa's manuscript, artifacts, art, all our creativity is still in the hands of European, both public and private collections, either in museums or in private collections. We don't have access to. Can you imagine? 96%. Gosh.
When you said intellectual, I was going to say they're intellectual more than us. They learned from us.
Indeed.
They stole from us.
Indeed.
They will give you, they will take your sugar cane and turn it into sugar and sell it back to you as if it was ours. So they're not more intelligent than us. And yes, that's one thing when we're talking about repatriation. A lot of people are just talking about money.
Yes.
We should talk about what is ours that need to be back in our hands.
Yes. Yes. This is a point I am going to return to in a future podcast, because the show of last Saturday started to allude to the artifacts, particularly the religious artifacts, and images that came out of Africa that are now being held outside of the continent, and the psychological and cultural impact it has had on our peoples. It is truly profound. You and I possess English names, which is a direct causal link to that psychological and cultural experience that our people continue to experience even today. Anyway, but I said I will return to it because I've got a series of podcasts which are with some outstanding guests who will address this issue head on, as was the show of last Saturday, a powerful testament to what we can achieve. I can see I've got Michael. I've got a call on the line. Michael?
Is anybody phoning in, by the way?
Greetings. Can you hear us? You're on the motivator, sir.
I saying, anybody phoning in?
Yes, you can call in. Yes, we'll take your call. Do you have a question?
No. I'm saying to you, is people phoning in?
Yes, you can. Yes.
No. I think
You're
Yes, they
calling in
have.
I'm
now.
asking I'm asking
Yes,
a
they have.
question. Is people phoning in?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God. I can't get the station at all, man. I'll tell you everything. Internet, this, that, this. I don't know. Can you
I'm
give me some
sorry. Say again,
information
please.
about a game? What can I do?
Sorry, Corda. Do you have a question
You hear what
for
I'm
us?
saying? I can't give you a question if I can't hear the station. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Could you tell
Can
him
you
to
hear
try
me?
YouTube because he
Yeah.
hasn't getting a Galaxy? Tell him to
Oh,
try
I
you're
can't
not
ask you
getting
a
YouTube.
question
Galaxy. If
if I can't hear the station.
Oh, I
I want to
see.
ask you
I'm
a
sorry
question.
about that. If you can come onto
You
our
can.
YouTube channel on the Demotivator Show, go to YouTube. You can get us there live.
Oh, YouTube. I could get the station live.
Yep. Yep. Go under Demotivator Show.
The Motivator Show. Okay, bro.
Demotivator Show. You see on the notice you sent out DE Motivator Space Show. Demotivator Show. Yep. We're there
Okay,
live
bro.
now.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So I assume Galaxy's having some problems. Let me now bring in Brother F. Yeah, is he still there? We still lose you from time to time, sir.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, you're still there. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have my glasses on properly, so I hit the hang up button by
Oh.
accident. I mostly I wanted to comment on something. I know you said you're doing it in the next show about the artifacts.
Yes.
So this is what we call the brilliant diabolic rules of thieves.
Mm-hmm.
So the British government stole artifacts from all over the world, but
Mm-hmm.
let's focus on Africa. Then they have them now, and then they claim that they cannot return them because the British law prohibits them from doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So then they don't want to return it, but it's illegal for them to return it.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, was it illegal for you to steal it?
Well said. Well said. Well said. Well said.
We have to come up with legal reasons to keep stealing our stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if I stole something from Europe, they're going to say, bring it back. We don't care what law you have in wherever you're from. You
It is
stole
true.
our property, bring it back.
It is
So
true.
even according to colonial law, they're violating it. So it's
Can I
funny.
just say, in this regard, and maybe both yourself and Elder Marcia might want to give light to it, I'm aware that the Global African Congress UK will be organising a lobby of Parliament. Okay. I don't know if either one of you are able to talk to that, what will happen in regards to the lobby of the British Parliament for reparations. Are any of you able? Yep.
Right. So
I'm
Okay.
right. So once a year we do a lobbying where we'll send a flyer out or we send a letter out for you to get in touch with your MP,
Mm-hmm.
asking them to be at the lobbying, where
Mm-hmm.
we'll ask question in regards to reparation. So that I believe that is coming up soon.
Okay. And I believe that's in May. I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's in May.
Right. It's in May. And of course, to respond more directly to you, of course, it is really in order for us to not simply complain that they've stolen our heritages. Okay, we've got to campaign, as you well know, for it to be returned to us. Okay, well, you can't see me, can you? Let me put myself back in the screen here. There we are. It's important for us to be seen. Oh, get myself back in the screen. There we are. I made myself here. There you are. And now I'm in there. There you are with you all. It's important for us to campaign together. And some people have suggested that the reparations campaign, and the Sunday International has been a really good example of where, in fact, the reparations campaign is being effective and it is transforming attitudes. Because, of course, politicians are speaking to us, are listening to us. Okay? And there are changes being made here in Britain. I don't know if that's happening in your own country, Efo, but certainly here in Britain, the pressure that is building from the African communities, either from the continent or the Caribbean, the peoples here, on local politicians, British society, is having an impact. Okay, and together we will make the difference. We will make the difference.
Yes, I.
Oh yes, I think we have a call in the line. Good morning, 9976. Good morning.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Okay. We still need your volume to turn up about 30% more, please.
Even more, even
Yes,
higher.
because
Okay.
compared to the guest sounds as though they're shouting in compared to your voice.
Okay.
So it's
Wow.
very disorientating listening to both of you. Because
So
when
my
they
voice is
come on,
too
they
loud or
sound
too
too
little?
loud. And when you're on, you sound a little bit too low.
Oh, right. Okay, that's interesting.
You see what I mean?
All right.
Your
I'm
voice
making a
is on
further adjustment
mid-level.
to get it right for you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you.
And that fella who called back about not being able to get the big G,
Uh-huh.
if he calls back again, tell him to go on to Shoutcast
On to
or
Shoutcast.
Firefox.
Right. I think that I suspect that is the problem. That it's new technology, and maybe I should get a segment on this show for Next Strong to show people if they want to connect to Galaxy how to do so. I'll do that
That's
for
right.
the
To
next
use
show.
either Shoutcast
Uh-huh.
or Firefox.
Understood.
And they can get them on those two.
Understood. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Blessed to you, and thank you for the call. Thank you for the call. All right, there you are. That's how the community working together, to continue to improve. Continue to improve. So there you are.
I think I'll try to talk a bit softer.
I don't
If
know.
I,
I think you'll find a way. Anyway, I think you're fine. Okay. Well, look.
so you were asking Ifo if they had something in Canada.
Yes, yes. A similar campaign in Canada.
We have we're not as as organized or as effective as the UK yet. Um, we I think people of African descent in the province I live in make up about 3% of the population at most. Um, and there's still a need to do a lot of consciousness raising. There's some stuff about reparations, but we do not seem to be effectively on the radar yet. In fact, when they organize to have conversations around some stuff, they even if it's government, you would find that they will often try to find excuses to not allow the most vocal of us to be present
Indeed.
in the meeting,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So that has happened repeatedly. In some cases, they would say, well, people feel uncomfortable because some of us have talked about Palestine. And so they say we're anti-Israelist or anti-Semitic or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They'll look for whatever excuse not to, and then they'll go
Stop that.
find someone
Yes.
they'll go find someone who's never been involved in the struggle, and they will appoint that person as, hey, this is the person who's going to speak for Africans in Canada, and all of us will be like, who is this person? We've never seen them before, right? But it'll be usually a friend of someone in power who they think they can control. So we still have a long way to go. We're trying to learn from you folks in the UK, since it's the same British colonial system here, and
Yes.
on how to engage our politicians more in coming out to in a way that they're strong, because they were strong about Ukraine. They
Yes.
were strong about support
Can I
for
just pause there for a moment?
Israel.
I can't just
Yeah.
pause that, and I think that's a really good observation. They were
Mm.
strong about Ukraine, and what is happening in Ukraine is a crime. I've got not a problem,
Yes.
but they were strong about Ukraine. That's all I'm going to
Yes.
say. Go ahead, please.
They like historically they've used the excuse when we had refugees arriving from Africa and even from Haiti that there were no resources, all kinds of excuses.
Mhm.
And then suddenly, when it was folks from Ukraine, and even previously to that from Syria,
Hmm.
and if you notice the hue of the skin of those people, you notice that it's eerily similar to
Yeah.
the hue of the skin of the majority in power control.
Yes. Yes.
And so you notice that for different groups of people, they tend to roll out the red carpet. They
Hmm.
made sure that, even in places where nobody was speaking Arabic, they organized for people to be able to do remote Arabic stuff.
Hmm.
But you hardly ever see them put that much effort to make sure that Yoruba, Igbo, um, Hausa, any other African language is well represented for where refugees that arrived.
Hmm.
Also, we noticed a dramatic difference in accommodations. We
Hmm.
had
Hmm.
Africans in Toronto who came as refugees, federally sponsored refugees, but no, mind you, who were living on the streets,
Oh my
and the
gosh.
federal government was refusing to pay the city to compensate the city for accommodating them. Meanwhile, they're putting up people from Ukraine in hotels.
Oh my gosh.
So
Again.
it's like the black folks are okay with the streets, and white folks need to be somewhere else. So
And if I made that point,
but
if I made
yeah,
that point, I
but I
think
tried to be
that's,
clear.
yeah.
It is that
I want to capture this
I'm
point.
agreeing with you. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I did want to capture that point, because of course that differential behaviour, you know,
Yes.
oh, and I say to many of my English, Scotch, Welsh, Irish, French, German friends, yeah, that it's not what you say, it's what you do, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and that's what we observe, you know. It's
I
not,
think
not
you'll
what you
have to.
say.
I believe you'll have to do a podcast, African in Canada.
I think we will. If I think we will do so. 'Cause we
But
need to.
not to
Go
get
ahead.
too distracted. Can I give because on Sunday coming I'll be hosting tomorrow,
Okay.
and I just want to know if I could give out just bear with me.
Can I,
If I
before
could,
you do that, can I just take this call? I've got a caller on the line with
no
number
problem.
ending 0370. Good morning to you, caller.
Well, greetings, the motivator.
Good morning to you, and greetings to you. Can I have your name?
Yeah, it's Onola here.
Oh, good morning. I thought I recognized your voice. Very calm and soothing voice.
I wonder how much that has to do with me only just waking up. I've had a very late night, so
Uh,
you have to excuse me.
it's
I
okay.
do sound a bit hazy.
Hmm.
But yeah, thank you so much
Hmm.
for putting on this show today.
Hmm.
I am very, very blessed and honoured and privileged to be a member of GAC UK and to have attended the Sunday International Solidarity meetings
Brilliant.
on
Yes.
occasion.
Yes.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can. We can. Yes, we can.
Okay. So I don't know how far along you progressed from the point that I'm watching on YouTube, but I just wanted to contribute to the question that you asked around the value of Sunday International Solidarity.
Hmm.
And, for me, as an African,
Yes. Yes.
located in the UK, located in diaspora, I think one thing that I really do appreciate about that particular forum, that particular space,
Hmm.
is that it's a space in which I feel that we as Africans are able to effectively practice what it is that we preach. And what I
Hmm.
mean by that is that it's a site of praxis.
Yes.
So as Pan-African, we hold certain tenets to be true. We hold certain beliefs to be true. And one of
Yes.
them is unifying. I think that the principle or the chief aim that we hold, or ideology that we hold, is
Hmm.
around the unity of the global African body.
Yes, yes.
And I think that the Sunday International Solidarity space is a place where we are able to practice that effectively. We are able to engage in debate, in reasoning, in differences of opinion, as well as being able to actually speak to the condition of Africans within our respective geographical locations. And I think what it is that it has a psychic impact as well, because we all know that, on the continent, we can appreciate the impact that the 1884, 85 Berlin Conference had in creating artificial borders.
This is true.
And I really think that what we do within, not just Sunday International Solidarity, but because we happen to be speaking specifically about this, is that it helps to really just break those borders, those artificial borders down. So we find ourselves almost in a sort of micro expression of what the grand vision of Pan-African unity could look like. So I think it's a really, really great space in which we practice at a micro level what it is that we desire and will to see, at a macro level in the fullness of time.
Okay.
So that was really just what I wanted to share. And I also wanted to just appreciate the GAC UK. I've only recently returned because I've been, as I've been saying, I've been trying to steady my own ship in terms of the particular personal crisis. But I'm pretty much in a space where, I've established some level of equanimity, even though the situation hasn't fully found conclusion or resolve. I'm in a much better space, and I think having communion, having that sense of community with my African brothers and sisters, I want to, shout out yourself, demotivator, because again, you are part of that unifying factor. You offer a space in which you facilitate bringing us together, and you do so as a stalwart. I'm confident in using that word to say that you are a stalwart of the Pan-African body, and you're consistent in doing so. I want to, like I said, shout out GAC UK, and I also want to appreciate Sister Teresa as well. Because in the midst of my turmoil and crisis, she has been a sure and steady support, and I mean that in a qualitative way. It's not necessarily about what we do online per se all the time, but it's how we show up for each other. In those personalized moments and instances. And how we demonstrate, the Ubuntu spirit, as a family, like I said, offline, and when it counts, concerning our whole sense of well-being. So that's really what I wanted to share.
Thank you. You said it so eloquently. I said soothing voice. I could have listened to you all morning, but oh my gosh, I have many guests here. Thank you for those kind words. But thank you for your contribution, if I may say so. And this is I don't get the opportunity to thank people for their contribution. The Black Knowledge Society is a fascinating concept which I continue to monitor.
And I think one of the things that she said in regards to the, motivating the psychic is on the Sunday, and it's getting you ready for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Demotivator, and just again appreciation to Elder Marcia and to Brother Ifa as well for what they're sharing.
Thank you for the call, yeah? Thank you for the call.
Okay.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Now, gosh, it does go to show the quality of the debates, discussions we have. And I say again, people from different backgrounds, social class, religious affiliation, political affiliation, yeah, tribal affiliation, national affiliation. Yep, they're all from different backgrounds, but they come together in common aim and common purpose. Yeah, they can disagree, but they disagree in a disciplined environment in which there is no rancor. It's a disagreement on points of view. Yeah, it doesn't lead to destruction or violence in any way. What it does lead to is some understanding, as the very wise man Ifo just said, opportunities just to hear and to listen. Yeah, so we can deepen our understanding. Oh yeah, that truly is an African way. We've got the great man Glenroy's returned. I trust it has now stopped raining there.
No, it hasn't actually. It continues at a 4, but the power is back. So
Okay, okay.
I look around whenever it's raining and think, will
Yes.
the power go off? And sometimes it does.
Yes, okay.
Sometimes it comes back.
It does,
So
yes, it
we're
does.
currently back.
Okay.
I've not heard most of the conversation, of course, but I'm glad if there's a phone call you're getting,
Yes.
motivator, because you know me, I've been, at your back about
Yes.
more interaction, and
Yes.
I hope you've got that.
Definitely
I
have.
don't know what has
Definitely.
been, I don't know what has been said about the Sunday International, but I think
We're about to
what
get
you've
onto
just
that
said
now.
about,
Yeah, about to go into it now.
okay,
Yeah. Can I
okay,
just put up,
well,
mate, before you speak there, I'm just going to put up
uh,
your latest poster. If I put it up on the screen, would that be right?
yeah,
That'd be right?
yeah,
Okay. You start
yes, please
speaking
go
up
ahead.
and I'll put it up. Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, what you've just said a little while ago to Anola, in regard to the aspiration to bring as many people together as
Hmm.
possible is the backbone of this idea. And Sister Marcia said it sets you up for the rest of the week, isn't it? It starts you off on a positive note, and we hope to keep it that way. Not everybody sees it that way. We mustn't kid ourselves, because sometimes the subject matter is creates discussion that's divided. But we hope at the end of it, with the informal session, people do get back together. There are subject matter that we have tried to address, and I think your recent discussion around religious figures was quite an interesting one. Nobody has proposed that we do that yet, but I think it's a subject we should keep in mind, because I think, you weren't able, because of time constraint, to exhaust that to the point that it should do. But we do.
Oh, we've lost him again. Or we have. Okay, in that case, then, Marcio, just explain now what is going to happen this Sunday at the Sunday International Solidarity Meeting. If I may continue to brand it as the African International Town Hall Meetings, virtual meetings. Go ahead.
Elder was just saying about having the religion. I think if we're going to have the religion debate, we should have also the different sectors wherein the
Yes,
Christians, the Muslim, as well as a Babalawo.
yes,
But
indeed.
this week, I will be chairing,
Okay.
and we have a brother called Dr. Mare Talbert. He is from America, and he has now take his family back to live in Kenya.
All right. Okay.
So he is Sankofa back. And it's strange because I've known him for years, and Sankofa, what was his company.
All right.
So he's a real scholar because he's trained under people like Neela Fuller,
Mm-hmm.
um, Dr. Muta Ashby.
Okay. Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
I will give you the Zoom link. I will
Yes.
say it slowly. So if everyone want to get a pen and paper, and this link that I'm going to give to you, you can keep it for each Sunday. What we ask is when you come on the Zoom link, please turn your camera on. Please have a name ready. We don't want to see a Samson 001. That way we can identify you. And we don't want to exclude anyone from the meeting. So if you can have your camera on, on, coming on, as well as your name. The ID link for the Zoom is 906 317 7486. That's the Zoom ID. The passcode is capital letter SIS and then numbers 001. Let me repeat one more time. The ID is 906 317 7486 and the passcode all caps SIS and the letters the numbers 001. So hopefully a lot of people who are on here today will definitely come tomorrow to listen to Brother Mari's journey, Sankofa, from America to Kenya.
Well, thank you for that. And what I will do is put the Zoom details into the chat, both on our YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram pages, so that they're there and available for people. Can you just confirm the time it will start?
It will start at 4 o'clock for
That's London
the
time.
different countries.
That's London time.
UK time, starting at 4 p.m., where we'll have different countries who will tell us about what is happening in their country, as we said before. Then the speaker should start about 5. Sometimes it starts about 5:30. And can I just say, if anyone is interested to becoming a member of GAC UK, if I can plug that in, if I may.
Of course you can. Yes.
Right, you can send an email to secretaryGACUK@AOL.com. I repeat, secretaryGACUK@AOL.com. And that is Elder Glenroy's email address. If you get in touch with him, he can send you a form in regards to becoming a member with us. We'd love to have all Africans in the UK, in Europe, Africa, the South America, everywhere be part of us.
Brilliant, brilliant and well said. Thank you for that. We've lost Elder Glenroy again. I'm just going to take that one out for you. There you are. There you are.
Just really briefly.
Of course.
For those people who might be at work or you might be in a place where you don't have access to a device that can get you on the internet for the Zoom, you can also dial in. The same Zoom room ID will work. You can call into your local Zoom number in whatever country you are. Like here in Canada, when I'm traveling, sometimes I'll just dial in to a local number, and then you can listen and participate by audio only. But that's an option that's available for you if you don't have access to data. Thank you.
And well said, well said. That is well said. And it is interesting. So we're encouraging people from across the world, but certainly across Africa and the Caribbean, Britain, Europe, to come on, to listen to first-hand accounts. As opposed to going through some news media company. Yep, there you are. Yep.
That's correct.
You're hearing it from the source. It's unfiltered. Yeah, there's no propaganda embedded. It is. These are the newsmakers, as you were. Okay, and it's supposed to be reported. These are the newsmakers.
I think
go ahead.
I think out of all the country, I think we might have one person who deals with politics. Or
maybe one.
Maybe one. might be one. Just Kenya, might be. But apart from all the other people, they're just people like me and you who is interested in what is going on in their country and what's affecting their African people.
There you are. Okay. And the intention is that we listen, we learn, and we respond, but the response is not intended to denigrate or undermine. It is to better understand, and through that understanding, we have the opportunity to find and secure unity.
And I think what I'll have to do now is to return the favor, Mr. Motivator.
Okay.
And make sure that I interview you soon.
We will see, Elder Marcia. We will see. We will see. I'm now going to go over to my brother Efo now because he looks like he's sleeping, so I'm going to wake him up now.
No, I'm not asleep. It's just I woke up at
At 5, I
4 in the morning.
know, I know.
No, I woke up at
We
four
thank you. We thank you for that. We thank
to join this. So I'm just laying in bed,
you.
relaxed, but
Relaxing.
I'm
Okay.
awake. I'm motivated on the demotivated show.
There you go. There you are. And can I just say, so apparently, I'm told that we've got a few minutes extra today on the galaxy of Fui. But anyway, just to say this to you, whatever, and it's really just to follow through. And I want to ask this question now because it will have implications for not only us here in Britain and Europe, for Africa, in fact, for the world. And I just want to ask this question, and is it going to be a feature for a future podcast? If Donald Trump was to get back into the White House, would it be good for African peoples?
Are you going to Ifo first and then you ask
Yeah,
me?
I'm going to Ifo first, yeah.
Okay. I will answer with the saying. They say a broken clock might be right twice a day. It's still broken. So if if
Well
Trump
said.
is not good for anybody but Trump,
Mm-hmm.
not even for white people, apart
Mm-hmm.
from maybe some rich ones,
Mm-hmm.
he's incompetent and also delusional
Yeah.
and deeply anti-African. So I do not see any way in which he can be good for Africans anywhere except by accident.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, sometimes you're so wrong. You know, it's like in math, you know, you put the two negatives together, you end up with a positive. So
Absolutely.
that can happen, but I don't think it will happen by intent. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
That's
I, I,
interesting.
I
Thank you.
I've got nothing good to say about Trump
Yeah. Okay. It is.
for us.
Thank
I
you.
believe
Ifo. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I believe this is the man who said people should go back to their S-hole country.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes,
indeed. Indeed.
Yes, so people are forgetting that this is the man who when they had, I believe it was 5 young brothers,
Yes.
were charged for rape
Yeah.
in, I think it was Grand Central,
Yeah. Grand Central.
yes,
Yeah.
and he was the one who put money up
Yep. That's right.
for these brothers to be tried when they were innocent.
They're
So a lot of
innocent.
people, we tend to forget what he's done.
Oh.
yeah.
So
What I find amazing is how the system of brainwashing has managed to convince African people that our enemies are our friends
Can you
and our
imagine?
friends are our enemies,
Mm.
right? We sometimes we forgive those who have committed genocide against us and
Yeah.
haven't apologized.
Yeah.
And then sometimes some of us have been brainwashed to not even forgive our neighbor who's actually said that they're sorry, right? So the love and the deep appreciation for Trump in some black communities
Mm-hmm.
amazes, it blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
There is no logical reason
Mm-hmm.
why anyone should love this guy.
I
And
agree.
if you want to talk religious points, there's a lot of religious conservatives who love him.
Yes, it's true.
And I think this is a man that pretty much every commandment of any religion on this planet
Mm-hmm.
he has violated,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
the so
Yes.
it's
Hi
not
there.
logical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're quite right. You're quite right.
it's you.
Uh,
A lot
Hi
of
there.
people forget. A
oh,
lot of
just
people
hold on there, my elder. I've got another call on the line. Oh, the sound should be powerful now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not into that at the moment.
Ah,
Your
okay.
fella, he just said that you're still low, but
I'm
your
still low.
fella just said that you could call a number and listen to audio only if you're on the move. What number would
Oh,
that be?
this is for the Skype. Yeah, this is for forgive me for the
For
Zoom
Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
Uh,
expensive No.
What number was he talking about?
Okay.
No, I said it depends. Okay, let me just clarify.
Yeah.
Depends on where you are and what country you're in. For example, I'm in Canada, and with our cell phone plans, we have unlimited calling anywhere in Canada. I can call a local number.
You still
So
there?
what Zoom
Yes.
provides, if you have a paid subscription, is they give you a local
Oh.
number in different parts of the world. So if you're
Not
in a
the only
place
thing, you
in
know.
part of the world
Only
where
you.
calling is free, then you could use it.
I
Could you
think
bear with me for a
we'll have
second
to
there?
wait.
Sorry, could you bear for, I don't think the caller can hear us very well at his end. Caller, did you hear what? Did you hear the response?
No.
Oh, you didn't hear
No,
that.
the only person I can hear is you.
Okay, all right.
No one else.
All right, we'll resolve that in a moment. In that case, and can I ask you? Are you listening to us via YouTube?
No. I'm back on the big G now.
You're on Galaxy, are you?
Yeah, but I have to cut them off. Yes, I have to cut them off to be able to call in.
Forgive me. Are you on Galaxy now? Are you listening to us via Galaxy?
Yeah, but I have to stop listening to be able to call you.
Oh, I see. Okay. What I'm going to do, I see your number. I will send you the details by text immediately after this call.
Right. Okay.
All right. Okay then. Thank you very much for the call, though. Thank you very much. Okay. Bye bye.
Okay.
Sorry, Elder Marcia, you were going to say.
Yeah, so if I was talking about, you have the religious people who likes this Mr. T. I'm not think he's even worthy to call his name. But at the end of the day, we should try and realize that we have house slaves and you have kidnapped. You have people who have been kidnapped from Africa who are still Africans at mind. Then you have some who are house slaves. So they believe everything that the master tells them. So that's why they will always love the enslaver compared to loving themselves.
I'm not going to disagree with that statement. What I am going to say, though, that if you'd been away from your source, not for one generation, but for 4, 5, 6 generations, and you've never been able to go back to the source, it is highly likely then that you become an isolated African, yeah, particularly where you're experiencing intense propaganda from those who've captured you. Okay. So I want to be, Elder, I want to be a little more. I want to be a little more
So they need
empathetic,
to
my
come to
elder.
Global African Congress
People
then.
in Nigeria,
They need to be coming to
like
Global
there's
African
That gets them
Congress to
going
know
now.
who
Watch
they
it.
are. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, Pan-Africanists and whoever are, you have still people who still know who they are. And those are the ones that I call the kidnapped ones.
I
And
understand. I
what
understand.
so they need to come to GAC.
They do.
GAC UK, come and listen us on a Sunday. Get some revival in your soul,
I,
which is not religious.
Let
I
me
think
add
it's right.
something too.
That's right. Yes.
Not just come and listen. I think we learn a lot. They say, God gave us one mouth and two ears. And sometimes I think some people listen too much. They don't talk.
I
And I
agree.
think that there's something powerful that happens when you share your thoughts and your ideas. Back home we say iron sharpens iron. If you want to get stronger, you need to also share what you're thinking and how you're strategizing. That way you can get reasoning from the group and we can be able to say, yes, that seems right. That's okay. That's good. Or maybe you misunderstood something. But if you do not open your mouth to share, you could not get that correction. You could not get that clarity. And so I think we need to encourage people not just to, yes, listen, but also speak up.
Agreed.
We need to practice speaking.
I completely agree with you. And what I'm going to do, if I may, what I've got you both here, give out the Zoom details again. So it's Sunday at 4 p.m. UK time, and I'll leave yourselves to adjust wherever you are in the world. And the Zoom ID, it's 906 317 7486. And the passcode is SIS, that's for sugar, of course, SIS 001. SIS 001. Okay. And as instructed by Elder Marcia, please, when you come in, put your name on, and it's important to turn on your camera so that the host is able to identify you. Okay. But it will be it's a safe environment for genuine dialogue and communication. Okay, I'm going to say it again. It's a safe environment for genuine dialogue and communication. And we've achieved great things within the Sunday International Solidarity, the International African Town Hall meetings. There you are. Okay?
Oh, and for those people who are really, really, really shy, we only want your video on. We would love to have your video on the whole time, but we mostly just want your video on just to identify you. And then if you're shy, you can turn it back off.
There you go.
Okay, so don't feel intimidated. We just want to, because sometimes in our spaces, when we have people who are talking about things that can be helpful for Africans, sometimes our enemies show up. So, but they usually don't like to show their faces. So that's all.
Don't like to show their faces and therefore have very little traction in our meetings. Okay, there you are. And that's why it's important to come in good faith, within good intention. Okay, good intention. And we're emphasizing this because I'm particularly keen that there are many debaters, and I'm going to say it again, from like great Nigeria, who I wish to see come into the virtual town meeting space, the Sunday International Solidarity meetings. I'm going to encourage Nigerians to join us. Okay, it's an environment, and you've seen now one of the wonderful chairs, Elder Marcia, speak on this subject. She said it can be challenging, but she maintains control. Because there's mutual respect. Yeah, that mutual respect. Okay, she maintains control, and as a result, the opportunity to hear, to listen, to learn is therefore enhanced. It's greatly, benefiting us all. The last point I was just to make on this, on the why we wish to encourage both listeners and viewers to join the Sunday sessions, it's on Zoom, is that these occasions are not often in our community. How often can you speak to someone from South Africa, from Nigeria, from Jamaica, United States, say from UK, and then of course to Namibia, or Zanzibar even, as we heard earlier on with Elder Glenway, for example, from Sierra Leone, from Ghana, all in the same space, and being respectful to each other. Yeah? There is not one. There's not one, is there?
Every Sunday.
Yeah, go on. Tell them more, my elder. Tell them more.
Every Sunday you're privileged to have that. So we invite you to come along and be part of it.
Wonderful.
No matter where you come from, as long as you're a black man, you're an African. And like I said, it's not just about Africa, it's about anti-racism.
That's right. And I'm going to again give another shout out to our cousins from Brazil. We don't hear enough about Brazil in the general media. Yeah, the place where most Africans were sent, Brazil. But yet we hear very little about our experiences in Brazil. And we should, yeah? We need to hear far more about our peoples in Haiti, for example, which is a future show coming up, okay, very soon. Haiti, the first group of Africans to take their independence, as a result of being cut off from their homeland for a generation or two, to take their independence. We don't hear much about them in the general international media. We need to bridge that gap. We can, it's within our gift, and we will, and we are doing so. Yeah? I'm going to say it again, we are doing so. And not only are we doing so, we're demonstrating a maturity that others are failing to map. There you are. Jesus, see the stars around me? There you are. That's the inspiration of the Sunday Solidarity International. Brilliant. Now, in the closing minutes, go ahead. Yes.
All our Zoom account has subtitles enabled, So if people English is not your first language, or you're not comfortable in English, you can turn on subtitles and it will show you what we're speaking in whatever language you are. And also when we have guests in other languages, then we can read subtitles in English.
Wow.
So come with whichever language you're comfortable with.
Well said. So if you're Spanish speakers, it can be translated. Yeah. If you're French speakers, it can be translated. Yeah. I say that deliberately because, of course, those are so common across the continent. But of course,
I'm
even
Portuguese from Brazil.
Oh, Portuguese. Oh, okay. Portuguese as well. There you are.
I have to say Portuguese. My partner is Portuguese, so if I don't say it, it's a problem.
Don't worry, I know the feeling. I've got French here, but anyway, it's fine. All is well. All is well. But nevertheless, it is an important observation. Regardless of your native tongue, please join us because it is a unique space, and that's why it's on the Motivator Show. Yeah, because it's a unique space and it's making waves, and the achievements. And I could emphasize those achievements will continue now and into the future. If you want to say something else?
You mentioned Nigeria. The British claim that I was born in Nigeria. They didn't ask us what our land was called, so I don't recognize it. But all my Nigeria people are beg, make una come. Okay, I'm just letting them know, make they come. They
Make them come, yes. You see? Ah, it sounds so familiar to me when I hear you speak so. It sounds as if you're in Jamaica now, you see. That's why I heard the tongue.
That's an patois.
Not a patois. Well, there's another Jamaican speaker. There you were. Okay. Now, on the last minutes now, can I just ask you to, if I may, first of all, if I just ask you to give your closing, hopefully encouraging statement to the listeners and viewers of this podcast, what would you want to say to them?
Okay, we started off the show talking about health and wellness.
Yes.
So physically, you need to eat right, rest. Now, come on Sunday for your spiritual, mental, and emotional health, because this will help you to heal. Be there. We all need this.
Well said. Well said. Well said. Thank you. Thank you. Short and sweet. Oh, Demacia.
I give thanks and praise for all who comes on a Sunday to listen to what we have. Like I said before, we want all of you to, as you are an Pan-Africanist, you could be a Christian, you could be a Babalawo, you could be a Muslim. It's not about your religion, it's about you as a person. Anti-African, not welcome. African anti-racism, that is what we deal with, about what's happening in and around. So give thanks and praise, and I hope to see you all.
Thank you so much. I want to thank you both for your very remarkable insights. I'm always proud to be amongst Africans. It's that social maturity that we always display. Yeah, social maturity. So, first civilized people. Yep, that's that social maturity always coming through. It's in our genetics. Yeah. I'm always proud. I'm proud, and I'm proud to join these international meetings and to hear your wise words. Yeah. And the wise words lead to understanding. Understanding can potentially lead to peace, and peace can, of course, lead to prosperity for us all. That's what we really want to achieve: security for our families and for our children's children. Praise be.
Exactly. On that note, it's good for your health to get sleep. So I'm going to go back to sleep right after this.
We thank you for taking time out of your sleep. Blessings to you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And blessings to you, my other master. Thank you for your contribution today.
See you all tomorrow.
Yes,
and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself.
Yes.
Pleasure.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
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 Bye.
There you go. Well, let's get that last one out the way as well. I must say that that was an example of what is possible. If I can just bring up my make an adjustment to this. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Not sure why that one hasn't gone yet, but it will go in a moment. Anyway, what I want to say before I leave you all, and this is really important, what you've heard here today is an example of people come together in common aim and common purpose. I know it's a word I use continuously, but remember, the whole purpose of these shows is to translate words into action. Yeah, and the Sunday International or the International African Townhall virtual meetings are an example of word being translated into action. And if in doubt, I say to people, if in doubt, ask questions. And if you're not sure about the questions, then then maybe you got a question whether or not you are, are you asking the right questions? Come to the international meeting. I'll put the details in the chat, in the comments on YouTube and Facebook, and you'll sit there. And we welcome you. We welcome you. We welcome your presence. Okay, we welcome your presence. If in doubt, ask questions. It'd be an opportunity for you to, ask questions. Okay, there you are. It'd be an opportunity for you to ask questions. And if in doubt, simply ask a question. Okay. And I'll just say in closing, if I may, that in doing these shows, the intention is that you not sit there passively and watch, that you actively participate. This is what Ifo said, that you actively participate. And be aware that you will not in any way be talked down to. You will not in any way suffer recrimination from us or anyone else here. Okay. What you will experience is a tremendous amount of love. Yeah. And that love, there you are, and that love, an expression of our appreciation that you are on the journey as we are to understand. Because ultimately what you want to achieve is peace, so that can lead to prosperity in all ways, both material, spiritual, physical ways. That's what we all want to achieve. But that requires working together, working through these what appear to be intractable issues. But remember, together we can make the difference. And if I just close by just bring up on the screen the words of the great Kwame Nkrumah. And I just want to say these words for you once more. It is in our hands to join our strengths, taking sustenance from our diversity, honouring our rich and varied traditions and culture, but acting together for the protection and benefit of us all. Kwame Nkrumah. Oh yeah. That makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But I realize the words are there, but we need to translate those words into action. This is the Motivator Show. This is where we indeed translate our words into action. And I say to you all, until the next strong, I remain the motivator. And remember, the Motivator Show, the internet's most inspirational podcast, every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Hall Meetings. Sunday International Solidarity. In collaboration with the Global African Congress, the RMT Black members, and African Alliance Brazil. The Afrikan International Virtual Town Meetings. Sunday International Solidarity. Issues that we discuss include COVID-19, prostate cancer, maternal health, to marry for life, wealth creation, politics, careers, opportunities, religious devotion, child rearing, amongst many others. The African International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. You share the latest news. What is happening in your country? Join us. The African International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarities. Countries reporting what is actually happening within their borders. News not filtered by big media companies. Countries include Nigeria, Jamaica, Grenada, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, Brazil, Barbados, South Africa, Grenada, Liberia, Britain, Ghana, Zanzibar, Barbados, amongst many others. The African International Virtual Town Hall Meetings, Sunday International Solidarity. We start from 4 p.m. London time. To request Zoom access codes, send email to secretaryGACUK@aol.com or phone mobile 07411 113098. You are welcome. The Motivator Show. Success is ours for the taking. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. You can listen to us on galaxyafui.net and also Mixcloud too.